The most impactful thing has just been the formation of how I view the Lord. And so that's happened in a variety of ways, but I view the Lord differently, I think more correctly, and therefore have a much better relationship with him now as a senior at Boyce than I did when I came in as a freshman.
Student life in a city like Louisville, it's pretty unique. Being from Chicago, I lived in the suburbs, but I grew up going to the city on the weekends. So being in a city like Louisville, it's set up that you can be in either one within 5 minutes. So whether you like good music, good food, cool coffee shops, whether it's high energy or low key like shops like this, Louisville pretty much has something for everybody.
When you think of student life, you think of fun. You think about fun events, you think about hanging out with your friends. At events like this at Rekindle, you're able to encourage one another and to pray with one another. And so often when you think of student life, it's not just that. And so you're able to encourage one another at events like this. And that's been so helpful in my Christian walk because you realize that you're not alone.
So community is super important just as a believer, especially just having students who love Jesus and care about Jesus. And I remember a time specifically when I was on the bus and one of my teammates just asked me, "Hey Nick, what are you studying in the Word and what has the Lord been teaching you?" And just by that, it's shown me what Boyce has instilled in him to have a biblical worldview and to love his neighbor well. And it just goes to show that everybody at Boyce College is striving and pushing for each other to be made more like Christ, but also for spiritual maturity.
There is an abundance of awesome local churches in this area to choose from. Boyce is awesome for spiritual education, but ultimately it's not meant to replace the local church. My GCG, the people that I meet with and serve with regularly, they're the ones to remind me why I came to Boyce College to begin with. And they're the ones to keep at the forefront of my mind who it is I'm trying to serve and who it is I'm seeking to glorify. And also, my local church, they've been the ones to present me with opportunities to serve the Lord. Boyce has taught me how to serve the Lord better and more effectively, but it's my local church that has actually provided me with the opportunities to apply what it is I've learned.
You can't come to Boyce and not be confronted with missional opportunities. There's so much that we learn in the classroom, but it really became real for me when I got to travel across the world and sit with somebody in India who is enveloped in this Hindu worldview, just completely captivated by darkness. But it's not just there, it's not just overseas, it's in Louisville too. There's so many refugees who I've just heard hopeless stories of how they got here. And there's people at U of L that I've talked to who have never even thought of worldview questions or even heard of Jesus, which is crazy. And so seeing these people and looking them in the eye and realizing the weight of their lostness and the weight of what is at stake drives me back to the classroom and makes me want to study and learn so that I can effectively bring truth to these people, because what we're learning in the classroom, it really does matter.
So college is such an incredibly important time in our lives. It's very formative. We're figuring out who we are and who we want to be. If we waste these years, then we've wasted a really important part of our lives.
Yo.